All right, today is gonna be a fairly short one. It's pretty much go time this weekend. What did I do? Saturday I had a bunch of running errands to run in this first thing in the morning. And then I got that bean planter's cover up, about a tarp for it. That's done. My grain truck's serviced. Eleanor's all greased up, service checked over, ready to go. I cleaned all the bird crap out of the cab, so she's ready to rock. And then Sunday, I got the 7300 out of the barn, got the head on it, got it greased, it's checked over, ready to go, fueled up. All I got left to do on that is oil the chains, which I'm going to try to do here yet this evening. And what did I do after that? Oh, then I got done with that. I got the 66 and the drill out, and that's all hooked up, greased up, switched over to wheat, ready to go. Which we're going to continue to see the grain drill, because even though I bought that bean planter, the Oliver drill is still going to be the go-to for planting wheat, because I'm not going to, for the little bit of wheat I do, I'm not going to go out and buy a different drill specifically for planting wheat. That's just not worth it. So we're never not going to, I mean, never say never, but at least for the foreseeable future that I can see, we're never not going to see that drill at least once a year. So anybody that still likes seeing that, putting the crop in the ground, it's still going to happen. She's just off the frontline service. So that's all hooked up, ready to go. Come on. I got the trailer unloaded. I got all the planter parts consolidated down to 2 boxes instead of 3, so the storage was easier. Just have to figure out where I'm going to put them, because I just stuffed them in the basement of the barn for now, and they're kind of taking up space. And then I got Sunday, I dumped my wheat that I had held over into the wagon. Well, that didn't go very good, because I got it in there. It came out of the box funky, like it was running out, but then a chunk would fall, or like it would let go, like it was bridged up in there. I'm like, well, that's odd, because it was dry. It should have been. Well, I got it all in there, and I crawled up and looked, just like, that stuff looks weird. There was a bunch of white flecks, and it was very white. I was like, that's weird. I mean, when I got it, there were some like splits and stuff in it when I got it last year, but nothing more than you would expect. And I crawled in there, it was infested with mealworm. All these years I've been, when did I start this? 2009, I think, was my first year. Every year since I've started, I've held seed over, like corn, beans, wheat, whatever. I've always had seed that I've held over winter because it got left over and wasn't worth returning. And that's the first time I've ever had seed get infested with anything. So threw that out. I mean, I probably could have planted it and got away. I don't know. They were eating the germs off all the seeds. So basically, I didn't want to take the chance on it, so I threw all that out in the woods and just ordered extra new seed, which is what we're going to take care of right now. So basically, the plan tomorrow is to start cutting beans. The only thing that sucks is Dad's truck is down. The rear axle's tore apart for because we had the whole situation with the brake booster, got that problem solved. Well, then the rear brakes needed adjusted. Well, the adjusters were froze up when I got the axle all tore apart to free up the adjuster. So hopefully it doesn't take very long to get that problem sorted out. So that means we're down to 1 truck for the time being, which on beans isn't a super huge deal, but hopefully this thing starts. I don't think it's charging very high. I think it's charging because it makes the light go out, but I don't think it's charging very high. Part of the problem with the double aughts is they didn't have an amp gauge in them. Well, I'll take that back. The 1800's got an amp gauge in it. The 1600 did not. And I don't know if the 1600, this is an A, I don't know if the B's got an amp gauge or not, but I need to come right in here, because there should be room, and put an amp gauge in it at some point, because all you got to go off of is that light. But anyway, I had trouble. It didn't want to start on me once yesterday. It started, but it was slow. So fingers crossed, maybe. But I was watching the generator, and the generator, normally when they're charging good, they got a little fleckle of spark coming off of the brushes. This doesn't, so I think I need to mess with the regulator a little bit and up the rate of charge. But that project's gonna have to wait for a rain day. Fuel coming because that tank's about empty. I'm going to empty that tank tonight, get it all in the transfer tank in my pickup. They're coming to fill the gas tank, that diesel tank. They're going to fill Eleanor up while they're here. 7300's full, 8700's full. The 1955 and the 1950T both need filled, but I'll do that out of my truck. All right. Just went and picked this up this evening after work. Hoping he still had enough left because I originally ordered 3,000 because I was expecting to have some left over from last year, and that didn't happen. So I texted him yesterday. It must have been, oh come on, and it's a little after lunch. Said, hey, I hope it's not too late. I need an extra 500 pounds. Said, no problem, I still got some left, so. I've thought about promoting his business on here before, but he is a small one-man operation, and I don't exactly know how many people he has the capacity. Not that I would drum up super huge amounts of business for him, but I don't know how much extra capacity he has per se to be able to take care of more people than what he already takes care of. Not that he wouldn't like to grow, but I guess one of these days I ought to ask him. About shaving these bags. I've still got 3 or 4 down in the barn. that I keep for whatever. So we're just gonna Carl doesn't take them back, so okay, there's one. All right, wheat's all in the wagon, and it's tarped. I don't think I'm gonna get too gung-ho about getting this planted right away because, as one can probably assume by our current weather pattern, the surface moisture right now is lackluster, to say the least. And even if a guy had the ability to no-till right now, you'd be no-tilling into dust. So I think what we're gonna do is I am just going to hammer down on getting beans cut, and we will worry about planting wheat after I get some beans cut, and maybe hopefully there's a little bit of rain in the forecast, because even if I got it planted, say by midweek or by this coming weekend, it's so dang dry it's just gonna lay there till it gets rain on it anyhow. So it doesn't matter if I do it now or in 2 weeks, until we see some moisture from the sky coming down. It's kind of a moot point. So anyhow, let's get this up and parked, and I'm bringing 73 down here and oil change on that real quick, and then should be good. All right. Now 7300 is 100% ready to go, or as ready as shall ever be. Eleanor's all ready to rock. Chisel plow's all ready to rock. Really, the only other thing that needs done is the 8700 needs grease, but that can, I mean, corn is at least 2 weeks out before we even look at it. That cold or cool snap toward the end of August, that like last week of August, actually it was longer than that 'cause it started before Rantoul, like the last 2 weeks of August, first week of September, those 3 weeks, it was getting really cold at night and wasn't overly warm. It was actually nice. That slowed things up a lot. We'd have probably been cutting beans by now if it would have stayed warm, but on the flip side, if we'd have stayed warm, everything probably just would have died. That cool, it was a hindrance in the fact that it slowed everything down, particularly the corn, but it was a blessing in the fact that it was cool enough that the fact that we weren't getting a overly abundant amount of rain, it wasn't stressing the crop, so it helped the beans to finish out without getting stressed, and I think that helped us a lot. And it did help the corn to finish out without getting stressed, but it slowed it down as far as hitting maturity, because we weren't getting them heat units. So on one hand it was a hindrance, on the other hand it was a blessing, and I'll take the blessing side of it. So, but I was going to move Eleanor, but I think I'll just leave her right there, and he can just drive through the yard with the fuel truck, 'cause it's hard as a rock. So last thing I want to do yet this evening is get that fuel tank, right, the one that you can't see because it's so freaking dark now, get that tank empty into my pickup so that it's empty. And I need to figure out what we're gonna do with that overhead tank. I don't know if I just, because the way the frame's made, you can't just like cut the legs off shorter, because the tank is like an integral part of the structure to keep the legs from just flopping over. But there's no reason for the tank to be there anymore. I don't know. I still have to figure, well, in all honesty, I'm to the point now I just need a bigger tank. So eventually both those tanks need to go away and get replaced with like a 500, what needs to happen. But one thing at a time. So anyhow, tomorrow we roll on beans. Dad's truck. I didn't get a chance to, he started working on it yesterday. I thought he had it ready to go. I didn't realize that he had more brake work to do on it. Otherwise I would have been helping him work on it many weeks ago, not wait until right now. But like I say, I thought it was done. So I didn't get a chance to talk to him yesterday because I was off getting my stuff, or getting everything ready yesterday. But tonight I finally got a chance to talk to him. Apparently he needed to adjust the brakes up because you got like half a pedal before they finally started getting hard, and it was like the adjusters weren't out like they should be. So he tore the brakes apart to run the adjusters out and take up some of the brake slack, and the boots on the wheel cylinders were all full of oil and had been leaking, so it turned into, now he's replacing wheel cylinders. And I guess it took him most of the day to find them. And when the parts show up, he found a guy that is apparently extremely knowledgeable on these old Chevy grain trucks, and maybe he does old Fords and Dodges and whatever too, but anything with juice brakes, it sounds like he is very knowledgeable on, and he can rebuild hydrovacs apparently. Would have been nice to know that a long time ago, but I guess the guy stocks an insane amount of driveline parts for these trucks, it sounds like. So but when he gets the business cards in the shipment, I'll let you guys know what it is, because it sounds like the guy is an incredibly reliable source for parts for these, at least these older Chevy grain trucks. So but he didn't have the information right offhand, but it's over in Fort Wayne somewhere. So anyhow, I guess with that being said, that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one, which is going to be starting 2025 harvest.